Yep. Okay. So, good afternoon. I'm Brooklyn Hoover from New Mexico State University, and today I'm here to talk to you about a study we've been doing for the past few years and some rigorous teaching experience through a middle school agri-science field day. So the reason we decided to do this study was because in New Mexico we're having a lot of low scores in the agri-science field and just in agriculture in general. So we wanted to see what we could do to improve those scores and make better ag education teachers. So what the study was, the one we're talking about today was the fall of 2014. We decided to make an agri-science field day for 8th grade students where they would learn from university ag education students that were enrolled in the agri-science teaching methods course. So the reason we chose the middle school in northern New Mexico was because they decided to do a cooperative agreement with us that we could continue to do this agri-science field day in the fall by using their facility. They have a center where they have pasture and stuff that we could do, a little lake. So we could use their facility, and one of the agreements was that we had to have a mission. There had to be a reason for it, and we had to follow that. So we sat down with them and decided that the mission would be to improve the learning of the predominantly Hispanic and economically disadvantaged middle school. So this is not just this middle school. Most of New Mexico schools in general are predominantly Hispanic and economically disadvantaged. And also to help the professional development of the future agri-science teachers. We wanted to learn the impacts of the 8th grade students, what it was going to do to them, what they thought, and if they would improve in the future, as well as the perception of the university students, if they thought that this would help them in the future, and if we should continue doing this. So the two lessons, the first one was water quality testing. So this is where they learned why oxygen is important in water, what kind of bugs or insects in the water can tell you if you have poor water quality or good water quality. So they learned all of this and why it's important to have good water quality. And the second one was how to use infrared thermometer, what it was, and how to use it. So they did it with different plants and different materials and to see what the temperature of each of those was. So we did this in early November. We had 6 8th grade classes, about 12 to 24 students per class. So pretty big classes, and then we quizzed them after each session. So we split the classes into 2. Half of them did water quality, half of them did the infrared thermometer. So we hoped that the scores would improve over the year. In the year before that, so 2013, we based on different stuff, and the classes were shorter. We did 1/4 of a period, where this year we did 1/2 of a period, so we made it a little longer. And they also did twice, so they did twice per period. So in 2014, the results of the quiz, the water quality testing, we had 44 students that were in that portion, and they averaged 58.6%. And then the surface temperature one was 42 students averaging 67.1. Now these seem like really low averages, but compared to the years before, we had about a 40% average on the water quality and about a 45% average on the surface temperature. So we improved quite a bit from those. And these quizzes were 5-question multiple choice, so pretty easy. So the university students felt like they did benefit from doing this because they got more experience versus being in just a lecture situation. Some of the things they said they learned, the value of planning ahead. So knowing that they had all this time in class to work ahead, and some of them wasted their time doing other things, and they realized, oh, if I would have planned ahead, I could have got better test scores for my kids. They also had to learn how to adapt to changing conditions. So during this study, in the middle of the day, it started pouring down rain, so they had to go inside, and they had to be able to adapt to where they thought they were going to be outside. They had to be able to do it inside. And they also had to learn how to keep the students engaged and make it interesting to the students. because most middle schoolers aren't going to care how to use an infrared thermometer, temperature thermometer, or what water quality is and why it's important. So some of the things we decided that we needed to improve for the next year was we're going to give more in-class prep time to the university students as well as the students in the middle school. So they were going to have the teachers in the middle school teach the students about the themes, lessons that the university students will be teaching them the field day, so they're a little more prepared, and then when they go to do the activities outside. We also moved it to October instead of November to improve the better temperature, so we wouldn't be so cold or have problems with that. And we're also going to do whole period lessons instead of just half to give more time, so better pacing for the teachers and more student-teacher interactions. All right, so now we're going to review. I have Starburst, so if you answer a question, give Starburst. So what did the university students learn in the activities? Anyone remember? No?
Infrared and water tasting.
That's what the kids learned.
Oh, okay.
But what did the students, the university teachers learn from doing the experiment?
Adaptability.
Yes, so they learned to adapt to situations because the temperature had changed. They also learned the value of planning, how to adapt to changing conditions, and how to keep students interactive and to relevant to them. Okay, what were the lessons the university students taught during the field day? You said this one.
Usually infrared thermometer and then the water quality testing.
Yes, good job. Here. Sorry. Okay. What was the name of the university conducting this research?
New Mexico State University.
Yes, good job. And then the last one, which is kind of a hard one. What were some points of the research? Why did we decide to do the research? Okay, so to improve the learning of the predominantly Hispanic and economically disadvantaged middle school, as well as to get professional development for the future agri-science teachers. So are there any questions? And then these are our references.